Hello, hello, and welcome. You know, let me make sure. Did I have a voice stuck on? Okay, no, I didn't. I was playing with the voices earlier. I just want to make sure. Welcome to anybody who might already be here. We are going to be continuing our playthrough of Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. We are on the third case, right? Oh, let me check now. All of a sudden, my confidence fell through the floor. What case are we on? I think it's the third case. Yeah, it definitely is, right? Because Magical Turnabout was the second one. Yeah, okay. Third case in the series. Hey, what's up, Vince? How's it going, man? Welcome in, welcome in.
Welcome
Playing some
in.
Pow World tonight, huh? How you doing, dude? But yeah, so we're on the Rite of Turnabout. This is the second part, which is the first part of the trial. This is gonna be a pretty long one. It's the second part of 5. Trial day 1. So we had an investigation that we need to go over. All right, let me see. Let me get my pedals in the right spot. Bed probably in a bit, just finishing. Nice, dude. Oh yeah. Sounds good. Alright, let's switch on over to the court record and let's go over what we got here. So as far as I can remember, let's see, what can I pull off top of my noggin here from last week? This case starts with, we are Phoenix once again, and we are in Kaurain, which is a country that is where Maya's religion comes from. And Maya is currently here training to become like a better spirit medium. She came here like a long time ago in an earlier game. So Phoenix is here to visit her finally because she's apparently like finished her training. So this specifically starts where we finally get to meet Maya. We meet Maya. She's same old Maya, and it's great, and we loved it, and it was awesome. But of course, Maya has one more thing she has to do before she's like totally off the hook with all this stuff and finishes her training. And it is that she has to participate in this ritual. This ritual is like a yearly thing that they do for the religion, and it is normally performed by the head priest and priestess, which is like a man and wife. And they didn't do that this year, though. Apparently, for some reason, I can't remember. Maybe the wife was sick or something. I can't remember. We'll probably come up in the evidence or something. But for whatever reason, the wife couldn't do it, so they chose Maya as the stand-in. And so Maya had to just basically take the place of the figurehead that was supposed to be like this ancient religious figure, and how this religious figure was this woman, I think, who had... What did she do? She, like, vanquished her enemies, and, like... They were like, their spirits or something were sleeping in the mountain. I don't know. There's a lot of religious stuff going on. I don't remember all the details. Maybe the court record will bring up the relevant ones. But anyway, so she was like just supposed to be like be this woman, the proxy for that. Anyway, so of course, while she was alone doing a religious ceremony with a man where no one could see anything, obviously the man died, as per usual with Maya. So the crazy thing was that Phoenix, during this whole thing, had passed out because apparently as he was walking up the stairs to go to where the site was, the ritual site was, his back gave out on him so much that he passed out from the pain. So the ritual happened, and the guy died, and Maya got accused of murder, obviously, all while Phoenix was passed out. And then so he wakes up, and all this is the situation where Maya is now, you know, in the detention center, and there's an investigation going on. So obviously Phoenix immediately gets to work, says I gotta defend Maya. So during our investigation, just a couple of key points I remember before we get to the evidence is that Maya told us that she hasn't told anybody that she's a spirit medium here. That's like a secret of hers because of how I think the princess or whatever treats her, or this how they would treat her, because she's an outsider trying to like come in here, because there's this princess girl who usually kind of resides over the court in a religious role, doesn't like outsiders or whatever. She thinks Maya's just like a poser who's just coming here for, I don't know, the fucking Instagram follows or whatever. So but so Maya's, in order to like, I guess, mitigate any sort of like butting heads with the girl, has like not told anybody that she can actually channel spirits, which is kind of weird because she's still gone through all the training. But it's weird that she's like gotten better as a spirit medium without actually being a spirit medium. I think it's kind of interesting. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. But she's just made it like a point to be like, hey, Phoenix, don't talk about that stuff, you know? Because Phoenix wanted to like defend her or whatever. It's like, oh, hold on, she's totally a spirit medium or whatever. But then Miles like, So there's that. And let me see. Any other big points before we get the evidence? Because I think the evidence is going to go over most of everything, but I didn't think it was going to cover that for some reason. Yeah, I think we're ready for the evidence. Let's see here. Let's go over the profiles first, because we got some new people that we just met. So we already know Albie, obviously Maya. Emma's here. Also, I guess I could say that for some reason Emma's here. She came with Sadmati, which is the prosecutor, who was just in the last case. Here's Sadmati. And she came along with him because she was trying to learn about forensics in the other country or something like that. I don't remember. Like, there was something she was trying to like learn here that Sadmati said that she could probably learn here. That's why she came along. And so now she's the detective for us on this case. So that's cool. We get to talk to Emma. But there is Ta Rust in Me, which is trust in me. That took me way too long to figure that out. I think the viewer had to tell me about that was supposed to be pronounced that way last week. So he's trust in me. He's the high priest that died. He's the victim. Kyrenius high priest in charge of the rites of Lady Kira, which is who Maya was supposed to be acting as, was Lady Kira, that was her name. Killed during the purification rite, has a clergyman's mark on his brow. Yeah, because I think these marks on their faces symbolize their job or something like that in their society. Then there's Sadmati, he's the prosecutor. Then there's Believe in Me, which is the wife of Trust in Me, so believe in me and trust in me. She's the widow of the victim. She usually plays the part of Lady Kira in the purification rite. Yeah, but for some reason, it had to be Maya instead. But this lady is like kind of gone pretty off the deep end with her, grief. She's been like talking to this picture of her husband, and like she like acts as if she is her husband by putting the picture in front of her face and like switching his emotions with different pictures of him. It's pretty interesting. Then there's this guy, which we have not figured out who he is exactly. He just kind of popped up and started asking us weird questions. A strange guy. You can't see his face on account of his beard. Pretty suspicious if you ask me. Yeah, we don't know who this guy is. Pure Zealot. Pare Zealot? Pray Zealot? Praise a lot. That's what it is. I thought I was trying to have the word zealot, but it's Zealot. Praise a lot. Praise a lot. Yeah, that's what it is. And apprentice priest living in the high priestess house. He's like part of the family. Yeah, so he was living with them. We honestly haven't learned a whole lot about him, I don't think. He's just been mentioned, kind of. Maybe there was some important things, but the evidence will bear that out. Then there's a Raifa Padma Karange. This is the princess girl. A Kyrenist priestess and crown princess of Kaurain. Her divination seances show the last moments of the dead. So that's how she finds out who's guilty, by doing the seance. So that's the profile so far. We got the rites guide, a guide to the Kyreniese rites written for tourists. Full moon. We got this mountaintop here. This is like what the area that they were doing the thing in was like. There was a fountain here. This would have been what Maya were standing, and this is the high priest. And yeah, they had this like curtain thing going around it. Ceremony ends with the rite of fire, in which the priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Rites guide. The purification rite is a 3-part ceremony held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Poniponi. It begins with the transformation rite. The high priestess reads scripture while the high priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira, which have been purified with incense. Next to the rite of water, in which the priestess enters the spring dressed as Lady Kira, and the high priest purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger. The ceremony ends with the rite of fire, in which the priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. The two then devote themselves to prayer until the rite comes to a close 2 days later at noontime, GMT. So basically, the whole thing is a fancy way for Lady Kira to take a bath once a year. Must be nice to be her, haha. Obviously, that was Maya with that last part. Let's see. May 9th newspaper. A newspaper from the morning of the purification rite. It reports on Lady Kira's activities, among other things. Oh yes, I forgot about this. There is a person going around dressed as this Lady Kira character that is like capturing these rebel people that are from this like dragon rebel group or something like that. So whoever's doing that is probably the real murderer, I guess. May 9th newspaper. Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. The Lady Kira-like figure that appeared 2 years ago remains a mystery. Some town elders see her as Lady Kira in the flesh. Such rumors are fueling the enthusiasm for today's purification rite. The crazy thing about this whole thing with Emma, this is not going to help, I'm sure it's going to play in there, is that it says that this Lady Kira figure appeared 2 years ago. Maya came here 2 years ago. So that doesn't help that. Today's purification rite. The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the plaza of devotion until yesterday has melted. The rite can now go on as planned. We give thanks for the blessings of the Holy Mother and Lady Kira. Hapikraki. Escaped prisoner alert. Police are asking the kingdom's subjects to be on the lookout for a male insurgent who escaped from Royal Penitentiary number 4 yesterday. Forgot about that too. There's an escaped prisoner. We saw a little anime thing about well, I guess they were talking about the escaped prisoners, these two guys in this like alleyway, or maybe they were escaped prisoners or something. But then also Lady Kira came up and like murdered both of them. Or something. I don't know, it didn't show us everything. Tarust's autopsy report. Cause of death was blood loss from an abdominal wound delivered by a bladed weapon. The wound appears to have been inflicted by the warbod dagger used in the rite. The mark on his face is one borne by all members of the Carianist clergy somewhere on their bodies. Records of who has what mark and where are kept at Timpool Temple. Hey, what's up, Togepi? Oh, welcome in. Bloodstained letter. A letter we found at the inner sanctum. A giant bloodstain makes it impossible to read in full. Impossible. We do have the little logo from the rebels or something. So I bet that will come into play. Lady Kira's a warning. It appears to be from Lady Kira to the High Priest. There are holes in rows of 3 all over it. We used this to break a lock, because this was indeed sent to the High Priest. We found the envelope that has matching holes. Do not perform the rite. I know what you are planning, Lady Kira. Pretty damning stuff. We got the ritual curtain, a curtain around the perimeter of the sanctum, isolating it from the outside world. The entrance was shut during the rite. Okay, inner sanctum photo shows the high priest's body, a shoveled out area of snow, and a lantern with a broken wind guard. Oh my god, the humanity! Yep, and yep, there's the shoveled snow. Oh, the humanity! Sanctum prayer flags. Prayer flags found outside of the ritual curtain. They have been sewn together into a long banner. You think they're like Rapunzeling over the side? You know what I'm saying? Maya's statement. On the day of the rite, the water in the spring was already stained red when Abbot, Enmi, and Maya arrived at the inner sanctum. Okay, I forgot about that. The water was already red. It wasn't his blood that made it red. That looked pretty gruesome, not gonna lie. Alright, let's see. We got the Warbod arrow. Resembles the 3-pronged arrows once used by Lady Kira, discovered near the High Priest's home, because it was what made the 3 holes in this envelope. An envelope addressed to the High Priest. There is no return address, and 3 unusual-looking holes are punched into it, which had that warning inside of it with the 3 holes. There you go. That's that. There is the Mountain Range poster. A poster in the High Priest's house shows the inner sanctum and Mount Pony Pony. And it gives us the elevations. How handy. We have a wanted poster. A wanted poster describing the escaped prisoner mentions a sizable reward. I was doing some looking at Apologize Trilogy. It does include the 2 DLCs. Oh, nice. Along with the costumes, but not any of the asinine cases. Oh, really? Okay. Huh. I've only ever heard of the asinine cases. I've never actually played them, but I have heard of those. I wonder if somebody will, like... I don't know. I mean, it'd be a big thing to, like, reconstruct those as, like, a mod. But it would be cool. Wanted poster described the escaped prisoner mentions a sizable reward. Yeah, that's a prisoner we talked about earlier. The plumed Punisher strap. Yeah, the plumed Punisher is like the Steel Samurai in their country. This one-of-a-kind strap plays the plumed Punisher theme when the Magatama on her belt is pressed. And there we go. That's all the evidence. I think we got a pretty good picture of what's going on. So now we're going into court for the first time for the trial, and we're just going to see what we can't bluff through this stage. That's usually how we do it. Then we get more information, get a better idea of what our actual, like, motive is, and then we'll probably go back to investigation next time. I mean, I don't know if we'll get through the whole trial here, but we'll probably try to get to a good stopping point at least. All right, here we go. Turn off that darn music. Here we go. We got this nice Koreanese music. All right, inner voice ready to go. Okay. I wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. But if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe.
Nick, today well...
Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Is that something? Oh no, it's the princess. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Then it seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Damn, dog.
Nick.
I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the Plume Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right?
Right. I may be a defendant this time, but I'll be by your side like always, Nick.
Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. You're gonna have to call in Mia for this one. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. Hopefully we get to see Mia again. It's funny that, like, Mia dies right away, but then she's like, she can always come back as long as Maya's there. Just like the day she left. May 11th, High Court of Karing. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Yeah, or Pearl, that's true. Very true. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Or Your Magistry, my bad. There's an R in there. Huh? Come on, Nayuto. What do you got, buddy? Quiet. Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmari is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. The trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me.
He's very devout for a prosecutor.
Hmm? Why is the accused standing over there?
Oh, well...
Your Majesty. In addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well, then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul.
That wasn't very nice.
That's a great Maya face, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Kahrain. I must say, I am surprised to see you still here in Kahrain, Mr. Rite. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would be willing to risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. There's a little butterfly now. I like how the butterfly has that little, like, spirit wisp on its wing, too. That's sick. Such foolishness. Oh, Prosecutor Sadmari, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Oh, good one. I love his jokes. The answer is simply, Your Majesty, I have a death wish. Yes. And this happens to Maya all the time, dude. This is you know, not our first rodeo. Splendid. I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmari.
Please save the victim's soul, Prosecutor Sadmari.
Punish the wicked lawyer who dares to stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on the whole fire and brimstone deal. It's another Tuesday for her, exactly. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So, it was you who instilled that putrid lawyerly guile within him. Putrid? What? He, too, must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya?
A little.
Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court.
Too bad I'm the defendant.
Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet.
You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick.
Now then, Prosecutor Sadmari, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Tarust Idmi. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbod dagger, which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. Could have had Maya with you during the Magnifi trial. Hell yeah, dude. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder. The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. Yeah, it's almost like nice that they gave Phoenix some time away from Maya because it really let Phoenix be like the ultimate guru in the end, right? Because Phoenix always had Mia to lean on through Maya or Pearl, but then all of a sudden, oh, it's Apollo and he has to go to a Phoenix for the wisdom and stuff. So it was nice to like establish that in Phoenix, right? I do appreciate that when I think about it that way. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as the high priest of the Karianism. Okay, and every time I say the word Karianism, I just feel like I'm butchering it. During the rite, the victim and the accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. It's always how simple their their investigation is. It's always like, well, it's because of this, obviously. This is where we're starting. So it must be her. I must say, that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. A diagram of the scene of the High Priest murder. It shows where the lanterns and the warbod statue are. So a warbod is a bird. In Karianism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling. There, she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. That is a terrible fate indeed. Would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. It is for you, Phoenix.
I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have that dagger or anything like it.
As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless. The meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Refa Padma Karain's insights. Don't use her full title, dude. That's a mouthful. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Here we get a little... Oh, I thought it was going to be like a little anime thing where she pops in. That would have been cool. But his back pain puts you out for a whole day. Yeah, dude. Put his ass out.
The Princess Raifa, oh, how beautiful! Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day.
As popular as ever, I see.
Rest assured, good people of Karain, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today.
What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice, and talking some absolute smack as well. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor, or Dihara Karain.
Dihara, Dihara. Kurain,
that's what it is, Kurain. That's how they say it. Thank you, game. Give me a little reminder. I'm sure I'll forget it in 5 minutes. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday.
Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head?
No, nothing, Your Benevolence. Now then, Your Benevolence, the divination seance, if you please.
Very well. Naina, my robe.
Naina. Oh.
O Holy Mother, We hold this divination seance in your name.
It's cool that they actually voice act that part.
Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me.
Hey, Charlotte, what's up? Long time no see. And hell yeah, aren't the new graphics great? They do all sorts of animations. Like, oh, I think you would have loved how they designed the animations for some characters from the last case. And these twins. One was like a bunny theme, and the other one was a bat theme. And oh, they had such great animations. It's just a great little duo. Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever as well. How you been? You look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I am good. How are you? How are things? How's the watercolors and stuff? The art? How's everything been?
So that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
The pool of souls, like that thing from Harry Potter. That bird bath thing, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't it like a bird bath kind of deal? Did you get better from painting for the first time in 2 weeks? Oh, really? Well, I'm glad to hear that you're painting then. Hell yeah. Oh no, Bubba died. I'm so sorry to hear that. Aww. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Bubba. Such a good dog. So does the dance help her see like the last moments of the dead, or does she just do that because she has the tension? She's like, hey, while everybody's looking, I'll do a little dance, and then we'll do the whole seance thing. Is that how it works? I mean, it's a cool dance. Cinematography's helping. He raised me. I miss him. Aw, I bet you do. I don't blame you. It's extensive. It is. It's longer than I thought it was going to be. I don't remember if they did this whole thing last time, because this is the second time we've seen the seance happen. Because in this game, this is like a religious angle where we're in another country where they do religious court stuff, and so her job is to actually bring up what the last couple of seconds of the victim and what they saw. That's what her ability is. So yeah, I think the dance was just because she had everybody's attention. Okay, she's not in the robes though. Yeah, he's doing his ninja jutsu stuff, right? Okay, then he's reading the prayers or whatever, right? Shake it a little bit. Wind. Oh no, since she's got the robes on. Incense, footsteps, pain. Huh, that didn't even look like a real person. It's kind of slid forward and stabbed him. That's weird. Well, that was interesting. She hasn't tripped over on that ribbon once, and I'm impressed. Yeah, I totally would. Because it looks like the ribbon would totally touch the ground if she brought her wrists too close together. And then you'd just be all over that, and just in your face just be in that pool of holy water or whatever. She's doing a little dance revolution to get this spirit driving. Yeah, apparently, get it warmed up. I missed what you said earlier. Speaking of then, there's an achievement for picking her life choices in the last trial in the trilogy. Oh, interesting. See, the victim's the victim's mitama has spoken. Mitama? Probably mitama, right? The victim's mitama has spoken. It's one of their religious words. The divination seance is complete. Great. Another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbot in me must have felt.
Butterfly. The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But, that wasn't me! Do something, Nick!
I'm working on it.
That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in another uphill battle.
The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite.
Come to think of it, the Rite's guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail.
The transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring, and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head? Would you care to object?
Of course, because I know my client is innocent.
So you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you?
I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again.
So if they're trying to get it out there to tourists, we have a PR. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again. It would seem lawyers are Polkanon creatures indeed. Look at that, Polkanon! Polkanon!
What exactly is a Polkunon? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. Real piece of shit.
They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth.
So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. Insight. Rayfaw's insight. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lantern and reading a sutra. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally, he passed from our world.
So it must be that he was dead when Maya got up there already or something? Like the murder happened before Maya even got up there, and the guy that went up there with Maya wasn't even the trust in me guy? I'm thinking ahead here, because Maya said the water was already red when she got up there. So that must mean if it was red with his blood, maybe he got killed beforehand and then they placed his body back there to try to frame Maya later. I don't know, we'll see.
As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally, he passed from our world.
Gruesome.
That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments.
So that would mean, if that's true though, what I just said, that would mean that he had to have seen somebody that looked like Maya.
Interstinctive diagram shows where Maya and the high priest were during the rite. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on the Lady Kira robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused.
It was Mimi Innie. Innie, Minnie, and Mimi Innie. That was such a good case, too. That was probably one of the first ones that really blew my mind because I didn't see it coming, like all that stuff. Like, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't see it coming because I had a viewer that actually, like, saw it coming, but I did not. And I was like, oh my god, they're going that far? Holy crap. That was a good one.
You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess' divine insight. Oh, how did you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the pool of souls? It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rayfa's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what Abbott and me felt and her insights, huh? You got it. And I'm going to find them this time too. Should I check out to point out contradictions in Rayfa's insights?
Honestly, I don't remember if there's... Is it any different than... Alright, we'll go through the tutorial, I guess. Let's check, just in case.
I can switch between Rayfa's insights using these arrows on the touchscreen.
Okay, it is a different interface. Okay, I did forget about that.
Well, I look for inconsistencies between them and the sensations of the upper screen. Seance of visions can be paused by touching pause or the left button on the touchscreen. I can even jump to different points in the seance vision by moving the Mitama mark to the different panel or by pressing A or Y. When I see an insight that doesn't seem right, I should touch select. Then all I have to do is point out the sensation that contradicts with the insight. The sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Alby's trial. In which case, I'd better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too.
Oh, yeah, the wind, maybe? Because the incense, you think? Let's see, I'll show you the bottom screen here. Tried transformation right and did he lower the sutras?
His light was spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally passed from our world. I don't know. The first thing I'm thinking is it's got to be that wind, right? The wind blew, and that kind of makes me feel like he wouldn't have smelt the incense. Sorry, my phone went off. So some other incense-laden robes. Guess it would have been this part, right? Play. Wind. Alright, let me... I think I'm on to maybe? Save state. That's not one. Okay, so I'm just supposed to, what, like select or something? Sound. I guess she just doesn't mention it. Maybe that's enough. Because it's saying it's a sound. I'm still confused on how they're actually trying to make me think about this. Let's try it.
Objection!
What do you think, Phoenix? Your benevolence. Isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? Uh-oh. Inconsistent? I think not. Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies. Damn it. No, I believe it is the defense's thought process that is that where the inconsistency lies. Let me see. Okay. How am I supposed to think about this? Heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. Maybe I'm just getting distracted with this wind thing. The footsteps don't get any closer. They're always the same distance away. Because the incense gets bigger as she gets closer, but the footsteps don't. You think the footsteps would. Maybe that's what I gotta point out. Select. Sound of footsteps. I'll try that.
Objection!
The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps. Why couldn't I read that? But did he really? What nonsense is this? It is not abundantly. Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, the barbed head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Ah! Why? That makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, Your Benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. Yes, it could be because she is not guilty. It is as they say. Even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn.
What does that even mean?
He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your Benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama.
Listen more carefully? What's he talking about?
Yes, it would appear so. Perhaps I didn't dance enough. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with a mitama. I didn't know you could do that.
Why have we never done this before?
By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Yeah, she didn't get a high enough score to... yeah, she's like, well, I could have got a little bit better score. I didn't hit the combo, so let me try again. I'll, you know, full, what do they call full match? What is it?
I don't remember what it's called. She'll get all the notes this time. There's bells now as well. Footsteps changed into bells. What could this mean?
Bells? The only bells at the scene of the crime were...
Oh, that jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells.
You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of the bells was the high priest's own footsteps.
Then that means...
If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. So he ran towards it? The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence insight would have us believe. I think I said that wrong. Let me try that one more time. A far cry from what her benevolence's insight would have us believe. There we go. I feel more confident on that one. That diagram has been updated. What a switcheroo, Phoenix. Good one. That's what a little bluff can get you. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Gotcha.
Still your voices. This is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that.
Sorry, 1 second. Gotta turn down that friggin' heater.
Boop doo boop boop. Boop doo boop doo boop boop.
Okay, come on. Okay, you got it.
Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation.
My bad.
While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sadmati?
Even if it was Abbot Inme who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime.
What do you mean?
The accused was likely waiting for the high priest to approach. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that.
Oh, right. Really doesn't change much, does it?
Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well.
Right. And that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it.
Understand now, lawyer? That contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun.
Insight revised. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. Why don't we see them, fighting then?
See? The fact is that Abbot Inme, who moved, changes nothing.
That it was Abbott. Okay.
Ugh. Come on, Phoenix. You gotta keep your cool. The contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rayfa refined her vision. Stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights.
Okay, let's take a look.
Bell's water, pain. So there's water now. Where does the water come from, dude? Turn my heater off since Sunday. Been getting around -12 to -20 weather with wind chill. Damn, that is cold. I thought it was cold around here. It ain't that cold. Shit. I mean, it's not very cold today. It's actually pretty nice today. But it got pretty cold, but not. It didn't ever get that cold. Let's see. It's weird that the incense like, bing, bing. Why it flash like that? Then we got bells, water. So is it that he was like walking backwards though? Like he backed into the water? I don't know that really changes much of anything. I need to refill my water here. Maybe we'll do that before I get too into this part. We did get around 7.9 inches of snow yesterday. Ooh, wow, that's a lot. We got quite a few this year, but again, you must live in a much snowier area because, yeah, I don't even think we got that much. Maybe like overall for every time it snowed. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go refill my water really quick, and then we will continue with some Phoenix Rite, so don't go away.
This Halloween, give them what they really want. Nut-free salted peanuts. Now only $5.99 a gram. Wake Up Cleaning Spray, now in fun size. This week, just $12.99 a bag. Plus, get Glorbox for just $10.99. Now you're sure to be the favorite.
When you get hold of the Nintendo Entertainment System. When you master Rob the Video Robot and meet the challenge of Gyromite. When you shoot the light-sensing Zapper. When you play the system with the most arcade hits, you're playing with power. The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
I'm flabbergasted.
That's what Pat Leary said when she found out how much milk is in just one slice of Kraft Singles.
Tell me when.
When?
Some imitation slices stop there, but Kraft puts 5 full ounces of milk in...
Each slice? Wow.
Tell me about the taste.
It's good.
Kraft Singles. 5 ounces of milk in every delicious slice.
The bottom line is I would buy Kraft Singles.
All right, and we're back. Sorry about the little break there. Got me some water. It's ice cold. On the East Coast, and we get an average amount of the stuff. I think we're making up for having essentially a green December. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too, because we had like nothing in December either, and all of a sudden we did get some stuff. Seems like the weather's coming a little late for all of us then, huh? I think it's looking a little low. Look up, little guy. Chin up, camera. Doesn't have to be up that high. Oh, I guess I should use the app, shouldn't I? Instead of like manually moving it. I have a little motorized camera. There we go. That should be good. My camera's been a little juddery tonight, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, let's get to it. So, let me see. The water, right? That's what I was talking about, was the water. So let's go down here. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading the sutra. His first part, the transformation rite ended. He lowered his sutra suddenly. He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. So, saying that he tried to fight her off over there, he wouldn't have heard the water, right? So that's probably what I need to push it against. Let's save. Save state. And then we're going to select the water. Present. Oh no, it's on the right screen. Hold it! How do you know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbott and me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh. Yes. And the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring, and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring. Polkanka? That is absurd. This means the accused location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Then where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here. Sound of the victim's footsteps. Safe state. Back here? Nothing obvious. Do you really believe the accused was standing there? I don't know, do I? That was just a guess, dude. Not when you say it that way, Your Majesty. Alright. Based on the victim's footsteps. Where was Maya based on the victim's footsteps? Right in the middle? I mean, Maya wasn't the one that stabbed him. That's the thing I think that's really, like, throwing me for a loop. Is like, Maya didn't do it. What do we mean, where was Maya standing? I don't know. She was, like, fucking knocked out and put somewhere. Oh, it's right here? Apparently not. Based on the footsteps. They were on the right side of the screen. Would it be by the broken lantern? She wouldn't have been like behind him or something. I'm so confused, dude. I have no idea what the fuck it's trying to get me to do here. I'm just gonna look up a fucking hint. So what are you trying to get me to do here? Okay, because of the water. Yeah, it is the spring. I thought that sounded crazy, but okay. Why does that mean Maya was standing there? Because the other part of the right, I guess, right? Because there's the part where she gets in the water. Maybe that's probably what I'm supposed to think about. Okay, maybe I can make sense of that. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbott, Inmee, and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in the Rite's guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, then their positions would be completely reversed. And yeah, that doesn't really make... Okay, so in the vision, he was facing the fountain the whole time? How come we couldn't see the fountain when he was bowing to the lights? And didn't she have to have donned the robes by then, though? I'm very confused now. Shows where Maya and the high priest were standing during the rite. Okay. It'll all be made clear. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring?
I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite.
The high priest would never make such an obvious blunder.
What on earth? Is that even possible?
Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? I'll wag my finger, so what? This completely reverses their positions is what?
That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change?
It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. This kind of was my point earlier where I was like, but it wasn't Maya.
You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Raifa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about.
Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? The curse of thinking ahead of the game, yes. That always, like, trips me up. I just, like, get in my own way, dude. It's like that meme where the guy's riding the bicycle and then he takes a stick and he puts it in his spokes and then he's, like, on the ground holding his knee. That was me right there.
Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere?
I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth.
Insight revised. First the accused and try to fight her off by the poolside lantern. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it.
What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Rite?
Nick! Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind.
Yes, so it would seem.
Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing. And now that the place, I was standing has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rayfa's insights.
That's right. We now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record and confirm where Maya and Abbott and me were standing, and then focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights.
Okay. This is a court record thing, then. So we want to look at the diagram. Okay, we've looked at it. Let's see, we looked at it enough. Alright, let's look at the video en second. Turn to the left one, bows. The right, bows. Read some stuff. Wind. He runs at her. Incense bells, water, pain. Yeah, it's nothing new in the video. So it's something to do with this diagram. Let's see, let's read over her testimony here really quick. Victim commended or commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. That's true. As the first part, the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra suddenly. He rushed in the accused and tried to fight her off by the spring side lantern. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally he passed from our world. Oh, jeez, I have no clue where to go from here. Phoenix said it had something to do with the diagram and where they're standing. I gotta think about where they're standing. Springside lantern here, one second. Where's the accused? Springside lantern. By the Springside. So not by the Springside lantern? Because they're like in the middle. Right? Maybe that's it? I don't know. It just seems like such a small thing. But sometimes that's all you need, dude. A little foot in the door, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so would I present the court record here? Oh, can I not present anything? So I have to find something in the video to point out? This stuff warps my brain sometimes. I just like, am I trying to think too far ahead again? What am I trying to fucking prove right now? It has something to do with where they were standing and how that's gonna make a contradiction. But how would I even like express that without it being the video? Because I can't just present evidence. It's gonna have to be in the vision then, right? Okay, let's look at the vision again. There's that freaking wind, man. That wind's got to do something, dude. Sure, I wonder how they managed to turn it into a single screen for the trilogy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wonder how they'll turn this one into a single screen. Yeah, huh. That's an interesting thought, because this one is, it's got a lot of artwork, right? You don't want them to get rid of that. Yeah, that'll be cool to see how they do it. I hope they don't get rid of too much of what they got here, because honestly, I really like what they've done with this bottom screen with all the little clouds and stuff. It's pretty cool. I guess all this could be made much smaller, though. Yeah, that'll be cool to see. Good point. Let's see if I can get a little inspiration over here. How do I communicate what I'm trying to say to this game? I gotta show the picture of the banana. Intersect diagram, update, reflected. He arrests the accused and tried to fight her off by the springside lantern, which he wasn't by the lantern. Okay, so it was the wind, dude. I knew that wind had something. Man, that was kind of complicated. Okay. All right, so let's see. We're going with this one, Springside Lantern. We got that. But then on this stuff here, what they are saying I have to do, let's get to the wind. Is I have to not point out the wind, but the sight of the lantern while the wind is blowing. And I'm not really sure why this matters. I guess it shows that, well, they're not by the lantern because they would have caught on fire or something. I don't know. But what it's really pointing out is that the walls weren't there because there were supposed to be those like walls all around the whole thing, right? So I just don't know how they thought the player would come to that based on what they presented to me. But you know what? That's classic Ace Attorney for you. All right, present.
Objection!
Your benevolence. I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it's but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There was nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Oh, so they even had like glass guards on the lantern itself? I didn't even think about that. I was thinking of those freaking walls.
She seems pretty tickled, Nick.
I don't remember saying anything funny.
I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see.
Do another dance. Yes, please. This is my favorite part.
Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there.
Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it.
And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering.
Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on.
That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during an investigation.
I just missed like a fucking part of the word there, whole syllable. That would never fly back home.
Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it's time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama.
Nick! Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started.
All right, let's go everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving toward her. So I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya.
We better, dude. We would, Phoenix, but we aren't in Japanifornia anymore. Exactly. Japanifornia, dude, they would let anything happen there. Okay, so the walls were up over there. Okay. I guess wind could still over the wall if it's far enough away. Dude, I feel like they keep giving me absolutely nothing and then say like, okay, we'll figure it out. It's like, but you didn't give me anything. You just told me what you gave me was like not a thing. Okay, hold on, let me just start it over again. So okay, we were looking at Maya. Or something that looks like Maya. You look at that one, it's fine. No flickering. That one, no flickering right now. Okay. Looking at the sutra. And then the wind. And then it's flickering. So that's when the wind guard came off then. So the wind guard came off while he had the sutra up? Is this an edited video? Just look at that, dude. Her whole like freaking seance thing has just been edited, dude. This has all been generated by AI. That's what it is. She just keeps putting in prompts. Maya killing the trust in me from his perspective. All right, so it's got to do with that lantern then, right? The fact that here at this point it wasn't flickering. Alright, save it, dude. Select this lantern. Present.
Objection!
Your benevolence! Isn't this statement inconsistent with the vision? Oh. Inconsistent? I think not. Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies. No, I believe it is in the defense's thought process that... Oh, damn it. Okay. So wasn't that? Let's see. Alright, I gotta get a hint then. I don't know, dude. Like, come on. We just talked about the flame thing. You see, Taurus had a very overactive imagination. Yeah, makes it real hard to get an accurate read on what he saw. All right, so what we just did was the lantern sight while the wind sound is blowing, right? So okay, the flame flicker, if I was not impressed. They were removed for the right fire, then put back on by the police to keep the flame from being extinguished on the third statement. Oh, because I have to do it on the right statement. Oh, that's probably what I forgot. Let's see. On third statement, on second panel, select the lantern side. Okay, yeah, I forgot. We had the statement matters too. I was just pointing at the thing. Okay. The third statement, he rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the spring side lantern. Why would it have to be this statement, though? Third statement and second panel. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it would have to be this statement. Why does that matter? Playing by your rules, game. Okay, fair enough.
What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight. But this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building.
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? 1 minute you shout out, and in the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Sadmati?
Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth.
Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with the indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbot Inmee saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of his Miss Maya is broken. Wait, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Faye is broken. I think he's a praying form of. That threw me totally off. The praying form of Miss Faye is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. Oh, I didn't actually notice that it was broken. I thought it had to do with the wind guard stuff and the flickering, but it is broken. Oh, wow, I did not notice that. So he's like turned around. So he was looking at Maya, and then he turned completely around and saw Lady Kira. Okay, nice one, Phoenix. I see where this is going. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be? And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell that we need to save Maya and Abbot Inmee's positions, the lantern's positions. Maya and Abbot Inmee's positions because of the lanterns. Based on the broken lantern, we can tell. I mean, you could do both, I guess, based on the lantern, but I'm going to try starting with the Maya, because that seems like the most important part. Where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else?
I did. And I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here. To the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing.
Well, wasn't she standing in the pool? I'm so confused now.
I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a
Capricious manner? Did they say that last time too? I feel like I stumbled over that word last week. Maybe the week before.
its credibility may come into question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Show us where you now believe the accused was actually standing.
Maybe it was like he was facing the other way and she was actually standing over here. Well, she was standing not next to the one that was broken, right? And I wish I could look at the video again. Is that what they're gonna do to me? Because I thought she was still standing in the spring. I didn't pick up what they're putting down.
Based on the location of the broken lantern, where was Maya really standing?
I'm trying to think. Bow, and neither of them were flickering, so he could have been looking at the spring. But then he turned around, and the one on the right was broken, right? Because that's the one that had the wind. God, this game always asks. I think they're gonna ask something else, and they're like, actually, we're asking something that doesn't make any sense to you right now. So we're saying that Maya was standing, because I feel like they want me to place Maya where the person who was dressed as Lady Kira was, but that wasn't. But that's not Maya though. Why do we keep saying that's Maya? Let me just see what this says. Where their positions were, right? I got that. Where was Maya based on the broken lantern? Present the spot between the broken lantern and the bottom right lantern. So yeah, where the Kira person is. Why are we saying that that's Maya? Am I missing something, dude? Why are we accusing her of being... Okay, whatever. Let me save really quick in case for some reason this is wrong. This game so confuses me sometimes.
I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom.
So I'm confused then. If he was standing there, then why did we see the wind and the blowing on the right?
Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? Yes, does that not bring us back to the very beginning?
Phoenix, set me straight here, dude.
No, this is where things take a different turn, and I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say that the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed it until now. No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big?
Yeah, please show me what I'm supposed to have seen. I am so lost here.
There was a moment when the scripture the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was, in fact, turning around in that moment.
The thing is, would we not hear bells? Because we have all the sensations. If he was turning, would he not be taking steps and making the bells ring and we would hear jingle jingle? Of course that doesn't help with the game in its flow, because, you know, we would have heard that way earlier. But still, maybe now she'll, like, make the bells, jingles be in there. I don't know, dude. If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain that? I don't need to explain anything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Sadmati. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence! Cinematic camera. I don't think they have that to not confuse the player or spoil things too early. Yeah, exactly what I was trying to say, yeah. It's just because the story wouldn't be able to hold this way. But still, with their own rules on how the world works. You know, they basically, what we're saying there is they did it for video game reasons, in a way, because the video game wouldn't make sense. It's got to have an order, so you have to choose stuff. You can't just have it all happen at once, right? I guess storytelling reasons do. A huge error, you say? Do explain. The huge error is the order of the rites, the crime scene, the number of people there. I guess the number of people there, because we obviously need to have someone else to take the blame here, because we know it's not Maya. So I'm going to start with that one. There's somebody else there. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a sutra when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be. Oh, but it can. And it is. The inside stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. Oh, sorry. Oof. That came out of nowhere. The inside stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime?
Have I misunderstood? The voice of the Mitama, yet again? This cannot be!
Oh no.
Woe is me!
Phew, that was a close one. But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record.
Updated. There was a third guest at this party? There must have been, or else Maya is fucked.
Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn this brash accusation of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you.
Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sadmati?
My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance.
Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry.
Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen.
I guess he really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. And again, he is an international prosecutor who's solved tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down, huh?
Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess, so I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct?
Yes, of course.
This third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. I might be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of their murderous intent.
Well, we're waiting, Mr. Rite. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this. Is it this bloody note or whatever? Hold on, let me save it. Save state. This seems pretty sus. What does it say? Letter we found at the inner sanctum. A giant bloodstain makes it impossible to read. Reveal the identity of the third party. I feel like because that shows that they're from the rebellion, but there is that other note too. And this actually has Lady Kira's thing, so maybe we'll go for that? For murder's intent? Because what did it say? Can I perform the rite? I know what you are planning, Lady Kira. Maybe? We saved, didn't we? We're gonna do it again, just in case. Okay, we'll try that. Warning seems pretty sus, right? 3 days before the purification rite, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual. He did! Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, "Do not perform the rite." But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? A person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. Oh my god. Le gasp. Peace! I don't understand. I had heard that Lady Kira has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? The High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel. The High Priest? A devout follower of Koreanism, a rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I too found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible. The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira, and the High Priest was a rebel. Your mockery of Koreanism, no. Of the kingdom of Korean itself knows no bounds. Whoops. That shameless lawyer! He's making a mockery of our religion. As a faithful Koreanist, I take issue with these claims. And I am loath to admit them into today's proceedings.
I don't like where this is going.
The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy, tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya?
Abbot Inmi was a distinguished monk, and very well respected too, so, yeah.
Please don't let this turn into an international incident.
But fear not, good people of Karain. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned towards Miss Faye? Someone else must have killed him. Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as yet, still in my hands.
How can he be so confident?
Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but a deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. An eyewitness who will deliver the definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts. An eyewitness?
Very well. Let us call the eyewitness to the stand. I think this is probably going to be my time to try to cut it here. See right there. It's him again. Not a great spot to break it off, but we got to break it off somewhere. So I think that's where we'll be. Let's see. Was that about halfway through this part? Oh, yeah. It looks like it's about halfway through. I wish they would put a to be continued here. I feel like the earlier games would have put a to be continued at this point. You know, so it was about 2 hours of gameplay, and then you'd get that. Or at least for my pace. Anyways, that is where we will come back to it, though, next week. So, got some exciting stuff going. It was fun. Let me save in the game. How do I do that again? Here we go. Alright, yes. Here while we're chilling. Play some more background music. Have a good night. Oh, here, what would you say? Objection, Maya teleported in front of him like in Dragon Ball. Alright, let's see here. Let me check on some stuff. As far as for when I will be streaming again, so I don't have any plans until maybe next week we can come back around to some Sherlock Holmes, if I don't get to it earlier, I guess. But I'll probably come back on Monday with some Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, and then hopefully this again on either a Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So trying to kind of keep to a little bit of a schedule there. Try to be a little predictable for anybody who cares. Let me see here. It looks like we just got a couple of us here with us tonight, so we'll go ahead and just end it quietly. We won't do a raid, but if you got some friends, definitely go out and hang out with them. Tell somebody you love them. Getting good. Hell yeah, Vince. Nice to know you're still here, man. Thanks for hanging out, dude. But yeah, so I guess we'll see you guys again next Monday, if I don't see you sooner than that. So have a great rest of your week, and yeah, we'll see you again then. Bye-bye, guys. Good night.